everyone. I'm Greg Gumbel, joined at the anchor desk by my partner, Clark Kellogg. Next up on the NCAA of College Hoops tonight, brought to you by State Farm, the #1 auto insurer. We'll recap the greatest games from the first week of March Madness, as well as give you a preview of some of the huge matchups coming up in the Sweet 16. But we begin with the player who dominated the first week of the tournament.
Ma was a driving force behind his team's march to the Sweet 16, Greg, with a couple of games that were off the charts. He's my pick as the man of the week.
Absolutely, Clark. He didn't waste any time getting hot. A lot of players want to save their best for the end tournament. Well, he was on fire right from the opening tip, and it carried over into the second round. One look at these highlights, you'll see why he's a player of the week and why his team is on the way to the Sweet 16. As usual, the first weekend of March Madness had what are sure to be some of the most dramatic contests of the entire tournament. Our first game was an outstanding matchup from the first round. Miami knocked off Portland State.
The Miami Hurricanes were intensely focused coming into this game, and their preparation was outstanding. They looked like they were ready for anything, Greg, kind of like you are when we come into the studio. Nardi had the hot hand on the winning side. His 12 points led the team. Watching him basically put his teammates on his back and single-handedly carry them to the big game situation like this was stupendous. This isn't a tournament, Greg. This is the big dance. He stepped up in a way that few players can in this kind of spotlight. And for that, we should give him a big imaginary high five.
This next game was another superb March Madness battle. Michigan State outdid Prairie View.
Sometimes you see a team come out flat in the first round game, but that was not the case here. They were fresh, and this seemed more like a mid-round game to me, Greg. Michigan State played some absolutely stifling defense. They made the guys on the other side work for every basket, and you can see that reflected in the shooting percentage. They never let up on the defense. That really took the pressure off the offense and allowed them to dictate the tempo of the game. To me, that was the biggest factor.
Now let's turn our attention to a few of the huge battles upcoming this week in the Sweet 16. We're in the meat of March Madness now. This should be a terrific matchup. Both these teams are fighting to improve their position among the nation's elite teams, and they're going to have to go through each other to do it.
Michigan State should come out on top if I had to make a prediction. Their backcourt is so solid this year, and their guards love to get out and run. That gives them a huge advantage in a game that should be as fast-paced as this one will be.
And how about another huge matchup from the third round? This will be a fantastic battle. This is shaping up to be a prototypical style versus style matchup. Great scorers on one side of the court, great defenders on the other. This is going to be a real showdown.
West Virginia would be my pick here. They're so strong on the inside that I believe they'll be just too tough to match up with. So we're really surprised that talent discrepancy on the inside doesn't tell the tale of this game.
That's our show, everyone. For all of us here at the 2K Sports Studios, thanks for watching. Enjoy the tournament. We'll see you next week on College Hoops Tonight, brought to you by State Farm, the #1 auto insurer.